Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Wednesday night Valorant matchup here on SBU Esports. Today, we will feature the Stony Brook Seawolves up against the University of Missouri Tigers. My name is Kevin Broderick, joined by Nidolan Ravi, and we will be bringing you all of the action. Nidolan, Stony Brook is still undefeated in the American Esports Conference, 4-0 to be exact. They've won, obviously, those 4 games in a row, up against Missouri, who's 3-1, and we believe technically undefeated, as their only loss was a forfeit. So how do you think these two teams are going to stack up against each other?
They seem to both be the strongest in their groups. I believe not many other teams have 3+ wins. I think this might be like the Seawolves' toughest matchup so far.
I would think the same thing.
Yeah. The Tigers, I assume they forfeited due to like technical reasons and not because, well, they were scared of like losing or something.
Obviously.
So I'm willing to assume there's going to be an excellent match today. Might even be our strongest match of the season.
And we're going to get right into Ascent. Are you noticing anything different out of these combinations from Stony Brook, or is, again, everything just the way it should be?
Seems about right. A very default comp coming in from the Tigers. And then we've got Bao on the Yoru again, which I did enjoy seeing a lot last time. It was excellently called by the Stony Brook IGLs. We should see a pretty standard game coming from both sides. I'm hoping to see if anything switches up, but I don't think we'll expect too many surprises this game.
Yeah. And I do want to mention the fact that Missouri, their last 2 matches played were on Haven and Sunset, so a bit of a different look than Ascent, which we are currently on. So I wonder if Stony Brook feel really comfortable coming out of this map selection. Maybe they feel like they wanted a little bit heavier than Missouri did. But what do you think about them playing on Ascent, getting a little bit of a comfort match? Because I think this is like the 3rd or 4th map we've seen of them on Ascent.
Yeah, I think Ascent is definitely one of the Seawolves' stronger maps, kind of like their home ground, if you will, which is an excellent place to start. It's always nice to have your map pick up first. But if it does swing the other way, it can be detrimental going into the enemy map pick for round 2. It could just end it there.
As Stony Brook going to be starting on the attack side, so we always like to say that they can control the pace of play when they're on the attacking side, and they do that very, very well because, let's be frank, they like taking their gun sights. They like taking one-on-ones. They like going for clutches. Not to say that they're not a strategic team, but they really do thrive when their guns are shining.
Absolutely, and especially this attack round, they've already taken so much space. They've taken all of mid control, finally picking up bomb from their spawn. Looks like they're kind of moving towards a B crunch as
3 players are here for the Tigers, so it is going to be a good hit. Bao is going to be the first one in, looking to get these gunfights going a little bit, but I believe there's some utility in front of him. Bao does start it off with that Sheriff, and Kaiser goes down right next to him. Gunny and Majestic will find frags of their own, and Stony Brook already into a 4-on-2 with the spike planting on site, so good chance for them to ice out this first round. Abel will find a headshot over onto Bowie, and Stony Brook going to close out a pistol, and Nidolan. I didn't think I was going to say that because Stony Brook has been struggling on pistols as of recently. Obviously, 2 weeks ago, they lost 6 out of 6 pistols in the entire series. Wasn't as bad last week, but this week, it's improvement.
Absolutely. Excellently called from them, too. This wasn't just, like, Bao shooting his mind out with 4 kills like the last pistol we saw on this map. This was a strategic play from them, a good crunch coming in from Market.
Everyone putting in their contributions.
Exactly, a flank from Abel through their spawn. And now we see a bit of a force coming up from the Seawolves. Still a Sheriff for Gunny, but a Spectre over on Kaiser, I noticed.
A lot of aggression coming out from the Tigers right away. Stony Brook is not going to be scared of these gunfights, as there goes Gunny and Majestic looking for these kills. Gunny going to follow it up, and that was a quick round.
Quick round. A good strategy coming from the Tigers. When you're down guns like that, it is worth playing surprising, just kind of running it down. They did get a kill out of it, which is more than expected given the gun advantage that the Seawolves had.
And Stony Brook fairly conservative with the way that they were buying in that last round, so because of the Gunny already out with a Bulldog, he had a Vandal for a second, decides to switch off of that just for a little bit of a different economy look, but it should be the Tigers into a full buy. You do expect them to have an advantage in this round.
Looks like Gunny left behind the rifle. He's sticking just to his sheriff, which, you know, in his hands, almost as good as a rifle, if I'm being honest.
Especially when he's holding a sight. Unfortunately, that won't be until the second half, but Stony Brook already with a heavy B lean. Bao will start it off onto GPL. That's a good opening frag. Can't really follow it up as all these players are suppressing a little bit of utility, so it is a good job. A little bit of a slowdown from Wader, living up to his namesake as well, so Stony Brook peeling off the B side a little bit, taking control over the map.
Now Bowie's watching mid from here. Kaiser will push him off with the drone, so no kills found either way, but space taken from the Seawolves pushing up into market again. But they still haven't given up Garage. They're creeping back towards B over there.
2 players in Garage as well with a strong setup. Kaiser doesn't know what he's going to be walking into. It's 2 players over to his left, but he's just staying patient right now in this mid side of the map as B-Dog will get a nice headshot over onto Majestic. Very needed as well, and he'll follow it up onto Kaiser, who is going to be coming in for a dangerous flank. Now Stony Brook in an awkward 3-on-4. They had map control, they had the kill lead, but now they need to fight back from a disadvantage. Bao, first one in, creeping in with his teammates over to his right. Abel was the one there, but his location gets revealed, so he can't creep any further. Abel, can you flank both players here? But he can't. Panda through the wall. That was an absolutely needed kill. Gunny trying to do the same thing. Will he accept the second player? The answer is no. Gunny for 2. Trying to flick for a third. Can't find it. Bow into the 1-on-2. He knows where the first one is. Can't find the kill, though. 13 seconds to plant that spike. He has the world against him. Running onto site, but Wader will close it off. 2-1. Still advantage of the Seawolves.
A good try from the Seawolves, but excellent shots coming from B-Dog there to stabilize the round. Especially after losing the first kill to I believe, Bao on the Yoru. Slowing down the Seawolves there was excellently played from their util.
So now going into the third round, should be the first time we see guns out for both of these teams. So what do you want to see from the Stony Brook Seawolves strategically?
I want to see more of their map control that we saw like in round 1. I want to see them kind of play it slower. We do see an Odin in the hands of the defense, so if they don't play it carefully, they could fall to that. GPL is down to just a Stinger, though, so a little bit of gun advantage could be going the way of the Seawolves.
Oh, that's a lot of damage onto Gunny, who's got tagged right there and got spammed out through the wall, but instead it's going to be Bowie starting it off onto Abel towards the A side of the map. That was a long headshot as well coming out from Bowie.
Yeah, a lot of control lost there on the A side. Bowie and the Omen pushed all the way out into their spawn. Now we see a push coming in from Kaiser through Tree using the drone. Bao following right behind it. About to swing into Bowie, who's... They're not looking at each other either of them.
I don't know if Bowie knows that Bao passed through there. It was a little bit of an awkward angle through the wall, and here he comes, offering up a frag, but he turns it around. Bowie with a headshot onto Bao, now trying to take another fight, but Kaiser's the better for it. 2-on-4 nonetheless. Stony Brook have to battle back. They do have a potential kill here onto Panda, but instead he finds Majestic, and that should be round over as Kaiser is stranded all alone on the A site with 4 players trying to hunt him down. Will get the spike planted, so it's a little bit of a consolation prize for him. But can he clutch anything out? Answer is no, and we are equalized at 2.
Like I said, the map control needs to come out for the Seawolves. They lost all of the control in A main, and they kind of fell apart from there once the first kill went the way of the Tigers. Good shooting from the Tigers, though, especially from Bowie, who managed to correct onto Bao in time.
So we have seen Gunny a couple of impressive kills early on in this game. Obviously, he's always going to be better on the defense side, but is him warming up now? Should that make Missouri scared?
Maybe a little. Depends on how good their offensive plays are. If they can work around Gunny's util without falling victim to his stuns, I think they shouldn't worry too much, but you never know with Gunny.
Potentially a quick play out here onto B. Bao taking so much space with the dimensional drift. We've seen many, many good plays attacking this site, but it's going to be Wader starting off and set onto Majestic. Kaiser gets the trade kill back, much needed from him. Bao taking a little bit of positioning with this shotgun, but Stony Brook, with that ultimate, is going to take the entirety of B site and go into a post plant. Panda with the op will pick up the first kill of the game with that onto Bao, who was just really in a one-and-done situation. Gunny catching out Bowie here. Teammates trying to defend him, but they can't. Gunny will take him out, and now it's a very awkward situation for the Tigers, fighting back into it, though, and Gunny needs to 1-on-2 with only 30 HP. That wall is stopping B-Dog from getting onto site, but Gunny needs to go and get that diffuser. He can't get it done. B-Dog will find it 3-2 over to the Tigers.
A good try from the Seawolves, but they couldn't hold with like their inferior weapons. Just a Bucky for Bao. It did find a kill, but was traded out almost immediately. The Tigers do have an operator, which we saw a little bit of, but if the Seawolves slow it down, we'll definitely see more of that, which I'm looking forward to. It seemed to be in the hands of their Omen, though, which I found pretty interesting. Maybe Bowie swapped it over for the retake, but I'm looking forward to see whose hands it's in right now.
Over there.
Can't tell. Looks like the Bowie is moving into an angle set for operating, so I believe...
He might have just been swapping that out to dash in on site. Obviously, you don't want to do that with an op. A rifle is preferred, so that could have been the thought process right there. And you also got to mention that kill, I think, was very in close quarters.
Yeah, it looked like a quick scope kill.
Bao was up close with the shotgun, so definitely a nice shot coming out, even though we didn't see it. But Stony Brook going to be a lot more passive this round. Of course, Bao not having the dimensional drift can't just open up the B site right away. And obviously, Stony Brook haven't been too favored on the B site, so might see a little bit of action towards A this round.
Bao's playing really far up with a Stinger. Sends a TP in. Might opt to use it. There is a player in heaven, but he would be safe. Now, looks like Panda is expecting a teleport from Bao, just waiting for it. And he fakes it out.
So not going to come through, but Bao still could look to get a little aggressive. Stony Brook, they've done some crazy plays before, much crazier things, and Bao is now in sight. Gets that player revealed, but Abel's going to take him out instead, so Bao can calm that this site is completely open for Stony Brook, and they will take it 5-on-4. It's going to be a hard retake for the Tigers. B-Dog seems like he knows there's going to be a late flank coming in from Majestic. Might actually search it out himself. Peeking out in towards mid. Bad timing for him, but both players spot each other. Nothing killed, so Bao and Abel still on the back of sight. Fight towards mid still going on, but Stony Brook are in such great positions right now, and Abel will find so many kills, followed up by Gunny. All 4 in succession, and Stony Brook will tie us up at 3.
A flawless round coming from them, just what they need to stop the bleeding. The last 3 rounds going the way of the Tigers, but a good turnaround from them. Played it slow, and excellent plays coming in from Bao. The Yoru fake out keeping Omen on his toes over on A site.
Yep.
Now, we move into the next round.
Lots of ultimates up.
Lots of ultimates up. We got a couple of major ones. The Hunter's Fury on the side of the Seawolves and Null Command on the Tigers. Heavy mid presence coming in from them, the Tigers, I mean. Both the Jet and the Killjoy playing far up. But
Bowie gets tagged out really heavily. He's so low, and obviously no heals on his team, so he can't exactly go back up. Majestic spotting out the alarm bot, so he will take that out. Stony Brook with a couple of not major but minor advantages across the map as they line up 4 towards A.
Smokes coming in. Drone has gone in.
Gunny will find the entry as well, and that's going to be the go button for the Seawolves. Omen TPing into the back of sight, and Stony Brook have cracked open A yet again. Another 5-on-4 retake. This did not favor the Tigers last time they went for it. Abel trying to jump up into heaven, getting a good angle right now. Utility flying his way, so he has to back out a little bit. Spamming through the board. Stony Brook, they know how to hold this site so well. Abel not in a great spot as he does get spotted by that drone, but is able to reposition just a little bit. And go for the peek up onto heaven. Now going for it, finds the first, swinging for a second, and gets it as well. Stony Brook 4-on-2, trying to close out the 7th round of the game and take the lead back. That's going to be it. Tigers going to throw in the white flag and just back out of this retake. 4-on-2 is all Stony Brook needs, and they will get up to a 4th.
Yes, the Tigers definitely need to save that operator here. Looks like Bao wants to go for the hunt.
Does get a couple of shots off, and an operator bullet just whizzing by the left side of his face.
But the Tigers do get far enough away, I believe. The op will be carried into the next round.
So Stony Brook back into the lead on the attacking side. Obviously, you know, you always want to be leading coming out of the attacking side, but I think for Stony Brook it's just a little bit more important considering that when they fall behind on defense, they are getting prone to getting blown out because they can't create that tempo for themselves. They can't get those gunfights that they really want to get their players hot.
Exactly. They run off of momentum quite often, and especially when their defense is their stronger half, getting more, well, for Gunny at least, but getting more rounds in before you get to lock down sites for yourself is excellent. Gunny is taking fights by himself.
First one, blind, can't find the second. B-Dog on the trade, so stays equal on a 4-on-4. 2 ultimates up for both players. Nidalee, who do you think this round is favoring right now? Actually, never mind, you don't get to talk because Stony Brook is just going to explode onto this A site again for the 3rd time in a row. We're again seeing Abel with this angle towards heaven. Stony Brook is just exploiting it time and time again. This time they don't have any flanks coming off the back. Bao will drop KO, but needs to finish off that kill. Not able to get anything from Abel, but Bao with 4 on the round. Weren't watching his perspective, but he must have been flicking like a madman because he killed people from different angles every time.
Exactly. We didn't get to see it, but that was the kill boy was just lighting up for him. We did see a bold take coming in from Gunny in the beginning, which I find very interesting and a good sign for the Seawolves. It's always good
not
when
on Duelist either. Is good.
Not on Duelist. He's playing Deadlock. It's a good sign that the Seawolves are feeling confident, though. They have the confidence to take these fights and win them, too.
We might see another dimensional drift come out from Bao to take this B site. That's exactly what it is. Instantly going forward onto B, but I think the Tigers might have expected this a little bit as they have a heavy stack right there. Bao might just be a sacrificial lamb, just trying to find a spot on B where he can come out safely. How does he still get a kill onto GPL? Looking for a second. It's Waiter towards the back of site. He'll TP back towards his teammate in safety. 5-on-4 established Bao. That was a miraculous play.
That's more than they expected from him. I doubt that they wanted to take site, given that Spike was on A.
And now it's going to be a 5-on-2 as well. Nidalee, they're not giving you time to talk right now as they just keep going forward and forward. 5-on-1, Stony Brook almost into a flawless. All they have to do is find Waiter, but he'll get a kill over onto Abel. Behind this smoke, 3 players in front of him. Nothing for him to do. Stony Brook doubling the rounds of the Tigers, 6-3.
They just don't want to hear my analysis.
They don't.
They just want to run it down.
Everyone at home wants to hear it, but they just keep going.
They just decide, we don't need strategy, we'll just kill them all. But they did play with a lot of strategy initially. That Spike was on A. They used the dimensional drift as a bait, kind of.
Yeah.
But Bao still finds a kill off of it.
Well, because obviously the Tigers are going to do their scouting.
Exactly.
And Bao has done this play enough for us to recognize that Stony Brook really like to rush B site when the dimensional drift is up.
Yeah.
But they did it one step forward, and we're like, hey, Bao, see what's there first. We're not going to hard commit to this play.
Yeah. Now back to the game. We do see another Odin sitting on B side.
Bao sending out a clone, so Panda won't shoot at that. You know, it's kind of obvious when the clone is walking by like that. You know, you're never really going to shoot at that unless you're really in a frazzled state, as Panda, you know, shouldn't be in a frazzled state just yet. 6-3 is not
It's still doable. Yeah. One of these days, I want to see Bao just walk and pretend to be the clone. Just run it straight
if there's
down.
enough of a lopsided score, I could see him doing that. As Majestic might have a fight coming up right now. GPL is inching closer to his site. Not going to take the initial shot, though. Now Majestic did sneak past them, so they might not know he's in this side of the corner. GPL still looks like he's going to clear it, and he will. GPL a nice headshot onto Majestic to start off the round, but little do they know the rest of his team is nowhere near him, but actually now they're clearing out B, so this should be a quick A stack coming out from the Tigers as Gunny is spotted as well. Stony Brook, they don't really have any map control.
Gunny does commit the ult, and he grabs this KO.
B-Dog on that, and Gunny's going to run into the site as well, throwing some more utility forward, looking for the shots onto Bowie, but not going to find it. 4-on-2, Panda's going to make it a 4-on-1, all up to Kaiser, spotted through the smoke. Easy enough for Bowie, who picks up 3 on the round. And the Tigers get a much-needed win to stop that roll from Stony Brook.
Exactly. The Tigers play together that round, and the Seawolves kind of fall apart, losing most of their individual fights. Also, a ult committed from Gunny means they won't have that for most likely the rest of the half. I doubt he's getting 8 ult points in 2 rounds. So we are down to just a couple key ults on both sides. Hunter's Fury on both sides not used yet, and a lockdown over for the Tigers, which is a strong defensive ult. It can completely slow down a fast push.
Gunny going to get spotted out right away, and his head will be taken with it. So, quick 5-on-4 setup for the Tigers. Haven't seen one of these yet for them, Nidalee.
Yeah, Tigers have been losing their initial fight for a bit. Last round did go their way as well. This round, we'll see if they can convert it the same way. Quick push up Cat, we see Majestic following the drone. He will fall to Bowie on the peak, and now it's a 3-on-5 for the Seawolves with not much space. They're kind of just corralled into mid. Abel pushing really far up in his own smoke to market, but
2-1-2 split as well, so the first fights are going to be taken over towards this mid side, but the Tigers just keep winning them this round, are on track for a flawless as Abel is the last one standing. They know where he is, and GPL will finish it off with another headshot. 5-6 this round, or this half, excuse me, is getting very, very close.
Yeah, I'm impressed how well the Tigers have bounced back from losing those couple rounds pretty strongly in the Seawolves' favor. They weren't frazzled at all, and now they came back swinging. We could be looking at an even half if the Seawolves can't take this last one.
So Stony Brook obviously prefer to win the half than lose it, and they have to use their ultimates at this point. As Bao is lining up to be the first one forward, is 2 kills off the dimensional drift, so obviously not really going to get it this round. Sending out the clone first, is going to follow up quickly behind it. 3 players over here from the Tigers, 5 for Stony Brook. So if they spring on this quickly, they obviously will have the advantage, but the Tigers are getting information back on A and an opening kill on the round. Stony Brook, it's really not going well for them already, just 20 seconds in.
All of A control has been lost to Bowie. He's almost in their spawn at this point. I'm not sure if the Seawolves expect him to be there. And Majestic and Bao are making quite a lot of noise going that way. They do
Bowie pick up anything. He will find a kill onto Bao and a double up onto Majestic. Stony Brook this round has been blown up. Can these last 2 players claw anything back? That is the question. Abel trying to get his way in, finds 1 headshot, but not enough. He needed both of those. Kaiser now in a 1-on-3. He does have sight. If he goes quickly, he can get the plant off without getting rushed down instantly, but then he'll have 3 Tigers pouncing on him right away. Bowie will be the first one forward with the knives. Kaiser making his way back onto the site. Will swing out for the first fight, finds a headshot onto Bowie, but that's all he can do as B-Dog trades out his teammates, and we will end the half deadlocked at 6.
Great plays from both sides. I'm a bit disappointed we didn't see as many of the ults as I would like to see. I don't think Hunter's Fury got used at all on both sides, but that was definitely well recovered by the Tigers there at the end. They managed to figure out the Seawolves' weakness of kind of losing on map space, and the aggressive push from Bowie over on A kind of sealed the deal that round.
And you also got to mention, it could also be as simple as they were just winning those opening gunfights.
That too. They started finally finding their swing and winning the fights that the Seawolves took on those rounds that they won earlier. But now we do look to the second half, and once again, it's the pistol. Could be critical for getting a snowball going, as both these teams seem to kind of manage to string rounds together once they get 1 or 2.
Kaiser over onto this B site. Gunny is not on his normal B site, as he's usually the anchor on this side of the map, but is going to be rotating over right now, and it is a good read as there are 5 Tigers players here, but instead Missouri will peel off towards the middle of the map, try to take a little bit of map control back for themselves.
Abel left to himself in tree. Gunny does rotate back, but the Tigers seem to want to play this kind of slow. They're creeping up mid right now, where Majestic is playing around a tripwire. If he's careful, he could get one, but the sheer numbers might be indicating he gets traded immediately.
B-Dog might be the first one to swing in on him. Majestic will find a headshot before dying, so he does provide a little bit of support for these teammates on B site. Stony Brook still have 2 towards the back of site, which might not be expected from the Tigers. It's Kaiser going to be watching the right side along with his teammate who's behind him, but Bao's going to die first. Kaiser, are you spotted? Can you get a kill? The answer is no, and it's a 4-on-2 retake for Stony Brook. Almost impossible for them to work their way back in. Gunny going to be creeping forward on site, finds 2 kills right away. Neither player looking towards him. Abel around the corner, gets a couple of shots off, but doesn't find anything. Panda just jiggle peeking around the corner, and Gunny will follow it on the 3rd attempt. got close for a second, but the Tigers do manage to hang on and put themselves in the driver's seat.
Exactly. A good sign for them now that they can get their guns going and a good snowball started perhaps. The Seawolves most likely will not be buying anything this round. It's too close to feel the need for a force buy. So this round isn't likely to have too many surprises, but you never know. We could see a quick thrifty coming through depending on how it's played.
Depending on how many heads Gunny finds.
Exactly.
That might be something to do with it, as it's going to be a quick A play, so right into the waiting arms of Gunny and Abel. They do throw a little bit of utility down, but Bowie goes around the wall and instantly gets taken out. Headshots are available for Abel and Gunny, but they don't find any of them, so it's going to be a 3-on-4, although one very low player, and Wader and his teammates going to get taken out to the right of him. 3-on-2, Stony Brook still staying competitive in this round, but B-Dog is the difference maker. A 3K, trying to make it 4. Wader gets the plant off as well. Majestic on a mere 2 HP, realistically can't get this done. Looking to peek around this corner. GPL will probably be the first one to swing on him. Looking for where the spike is. Haven't found it yet. Clears out underneath Heaven. Now swinging around to the waiting arms of B-Dog. Can you get a little bit of a diffuse around this corner? Will tap it. Waiting for the swing. Wader will send out the drone instead. So it's just played so conservatively for the Tigers, and they're not giving him anything on this. Wader just playing so patiently, and again, it is a 4K for B-Dog. They were toying with him a little bit.
Kind of just staring him down with the drone. He wasn't really going to get much done with 2 HP, but it was an excellent try nonetheless.
2 HP, a dart on him, the drone's still in front of his face. You know, not much to do in that situation, but it is an 8-6 lead, which is very important for Stony Brook to punch back right now with the gun advantage.
Exactly. This is their chance to come back. If they lose this round, get forced back to another eco, the game will start slipping pretty quickly. We see a pretty heavy A lean coming from the Tigers with just one all the way over lurking on B. Not pushed up at all. Looks like a slower round, just creeping up catwalk. No one in the Seawolves contesting much either. They're also all playing very passively.
It's just very passive angles, waiting for someone to come into their crosshairs before they pull the trigger. Obviously, Stony Brook, you want to see them a little bit more active than this, but at the same time, they don't want to get overzealous and lose out on a very important gun round. Abel just rechecking this corner. If he gets timing by Bowie, he might have a disadvantageous fight, but Abel staying a little bit wiser than I would be in that angle, obviously.
And smokes traded in tree, and looks like the Tigers will fall back. Kind of leaning back towards B. They haven't really taken much space. Now the camera is broken from Majestic, so they know there's a presence on B. And the rotate starts coming through.
It's going to be a 5-man B hit. Kaiser will open up the round and instantly loses his teammate, but Kaiser going in for 3 with the heavy machine gun. Kaiser for 4, and he's the absolute difference maker in this round as he gives his team a 5-on-3 advantage, just trying to close it out onto Bowie, who's so low, getting spammed through the wall, and it's a full ace for Kaiser. Wow.
That Odin is lethal on B site, especially on this map with the walls made of paper.
Aye, but none of them were even wall bangs. He was just mowing them down in the open.
He just mowed them down, set up by his team. Excellent shooting from him. Well-deserved ace, especially needed to get back on the board, kind of fight their way back into the game. That was most likely a bonus coming in from the Tigers, though, so hopefully we see a full buy round coming from both teams this time. We'll see if he can repeat his feats there.
Now, I do want to make a reference for Kaiser about The Usual Suspects, but I feel I'm the only one who's watched that movie.
Yeah, I have not.
Yeah, I feel like it would be good, but at the same time, it wouldn't hit. You know, if it was more of a pop culture movie, then it would be a good one, because Kaiser Sose is this, like, shadowy figure who's, like, known for just being able to, like, decimate whole, like, gangs of men by himself. And that would have been really fun, but at the same time, I'm the only one who knows what that movie is.
Guess it's a little too niche for
everyone. It is
everyone.
Too niche. If you haven't watched The Usual Suspects, go watch it so I can make that comment the next time these guys play.
Interesting play coming from the Tigers. They're in the defender spawn.
And Majestic goes down to it. Was he watching it, or was he completely caught out? And Panda's going to find another one onto Gunny, so they should know there's only one onto the A side, but at the same time, there's only one onto the B side at this point. Bao's the only one alive. Teammates just crumbling around him, trying to find anything. He can't. Bowie will find a wall bang, and it's a 5-on-1. I mean, Stony Brook just was not prepared for that mid-take.
Yeah, Abel's got to save this rifle, I think. Bao was already down to a sheriff. They need this gun, and unfortunately, it's not going to go their way. Flawless round coming in. Excellent strategy. I don't fault Seals for not expecting that. You really don't expect the enemy team to be in your spawn, but I guess they just didn't have any defensive util holding them back, like a Cypher trip.
So, again, Nidalee, we're at this point in the half in which there's 5 ultimates up in the game. Obviously, for Bowie, it's a big one for him to just get ultra aggressive, but he also doesn't want to overextend his hand because Gunny, of course, has that lockdown.
Yeah. I think we won't see too many coming from the Seawolves. It looks like they are on an eco buy. Maybe if the tides swing their way, Gunny might use his to secure the round, but we shouldn't see too much action this round. Next round, I believe, is where the fun begins with all the ults coming out.
And obviously, Stony Brook don't want this lead to balloon too much for the Tigers, as they can get up to 10 and 11 very quickly, and that's hard to come back. But we're not there just yet, as Majestic is holding a very tight angle with the Sheriff. Obviously, that one-shot headshot potential, but he's not going to be able to find anything as he gets smoked off with that angle. So GPL making his way in. Moving the net right there, and almost gets locked down from Gunny, and does.
Looks like Gunny does want to take the advantage back this round. That kill's not going the way. That's not going to be rescuable. The Tigers quickly move into tree and find one onto Abel.
Swings in for a fight, but not going to be able to find anything. Panda follows it up with Bao, and that ultimate from Gunny might go for not, as Majestic needs to find something, but he can't. Stony Brook in a 2-on-4, and realistically, with no weapons, there's no way into the round. Gunny does find a headshot with the Vandal, but that's all he can get. Definitely needed at least 2 more, maybe 1 more, and it could have been cleaned up from Kaiser. He's swinging out, finds one over onto Panda, but gets double peaked, and it's a triple kill for Wader in the round, 10-7 in the favor of the University of Missouri.
This game's starting to slip pretty quickly. The Seawolves aren't really winning the fights they need to win. They're kind of losing the advantage. Sure, that last round was an eco from them, but this round is kind of make or break for them. If they don't get this back, match point is on the horizon for the Tigers when they get pushed back to an eco again.
And again, when you have that kind of 4 or 5 round lead and you're on match point, you can realistically trip over it at that frame, because it's just you need a couple of kills going your way in a round, and all of a sudden you find yourself in a driver's seat. Stony Brook gets nervous because they don't want to drop the map, and that's all she wrote. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself, as Bao still can be a difference maker. Gunny can still be a difference maker. Bao going for a couple of shots, but he's going to teleport back as he's not finding any connection with them. Stony Brook just in a passive 2-1-2 setup right now. Some angles over towards mid, and obviously Gunny doing his thing.
Working around his sonic sensors. But Spike is moving towards B for the Tigers. Bowie posted up here in mid, watching Cat, and 3 members sitting in garage, but 2 members from the Seawolves are watching that. A Cypher cam pointed their way. Drone comes out and spots no one. The camera might not have even been noted by the Tigers.
So they might think that they have a free site, but little do they know Stony Brook actually have a lean towards the B site. Majestic's going to work his way back on, as obviously they won't know he's there, but it's Gunny to start off the round. Good headshot from him. We talk about it all the time. He can really be a difference maker, but Panda, trigger discipline, not going to hold it for too long. Gets the kill onto Bao, more like an execution. Now his team's going to spring onto site. Another great shot from Panda, and that's going to be the B site gone. Stony Brook in a hard 3-on-4 retake. Panda throwing down another smoke, but Gunny just goes out so quickly he wasn't prepared for it. Gunny will fall to GPL. Now it leaves his 2 teammates into the clutch. Abel dodging that ultimate coming out from the Sova, sending a smoke onto site. The plant's going to go down with just 2 seconds left in the round. Abel already onto site. Nice headshot through the wall. Abel in the 1-on-1. His team needs it, but he can't find it. GPL for the headshot instead. Got the last 2 necessary from him, and it's an 11-7 lead for the Tigers.
That was such a close round. They managed to deny Spike with the Hunter's Fury, but with 2 seconds left on the clock, the Tigers managed to get it down, and The kills just weren't found for the Seawolves. It was a quick clutch coming in from the Killjoy. And like I said, now we see the Seawolves down on an eco round, which if they can't pull out a Thrifty here, that's match point for the Tigers.
Match point, and you need 5 rounds in a row, or just to bring it to overtime.
Exactly, and overtime is anyone's game.
So obviously Stony Brook with 2 ultimates to work in this round. One of them is a dimensional drift, so that can be used effectively in more of a clutch situation, maybe a retake situation to get space back. But again, maybe they don't use them unless they have a clear way to win a round. It's going to be a heavy A lean from the Tigers. They have all 5 members over there, and Stony Brook, I mean, they have the normal 2 set up onto A, but I don't think that's enough against all these Vandals, all these weapon advantage coming out from Missouri. So Majestic falling back onto site, throwing down the smoke on his way back. Is going to spot one through the smoke, and that's a nice headshot to start off onto Bowie. Obviously, the duelist down is a big hurt, but Abel's going to follow it up as well with another headshot. There goes Majestic. 3 down already. Stony Brook just need 2 more, and Majestic will find one of them. It's all left up to GPL. He clutched last round, but not going to find it this time. Thrifty on the screen for a reason, because Stony Brook just stole a round.
Abel and Majestic with an incredible hold there, 3 and 2 kills each. Excellent Cypher setup coming in. Bowie completely getting tripped up and shot right through the smoke he put down. This is exactly what the Seawolves need to kind of claw their way back into it.
I mean, just even the confidence coming off of that round, I mean, that's going to be huge. That just Majestic swung out and took 3 raw fights and got headshots on all of them.
Yeah, 3K with a Sheriff is excellent for confidence boosting, and they still have... They're only 4 rounds away from match point. They still have a chance to make it back in. And Kaiser, once again, picking up the Odin. We saw what he did last time he had this.
It's a full 5 coming out for him, but this time he's going to have to contest with Bowie's knives coming out. Abel trying to just wait to throw this smoke out. Obviously, he has his ultimate up as well if he wants to get a little bit fancy with a flank, but is suppressed right now. 1 second till it's over. Now he can actually do something on the map. Dimensional Drift also up for a retake scenario, but Stony Brook, they can only use that if Bao is alive coming to the B site more than likely.
Yeah, and Tigers fall back from A, but they've gone all the way up through mid. Abel is just on the other side of 3 members sitting in his smoke. Drone comes out.
Abel might get aggressive through the smoke as well, going for a little bit of spam. No one's there just yet, but here comes the swing from the Tigers. Abel does find one through smoke over onto B-Dog. Going back to the glass, obviously they're going to hear that broken, so they know Abel should be back towards heaven. His teammates both fall onto the A site, so it's a 3-on-4 for Stony Brook, and the plant is going to go down as well. Abel looking for the teleport right now. Where is he going to go? It's a little bit onto the flank.
It does get canceled, but...
And GPL comes in from behind. 2 quick executions with the headshot. He does get traded out by Abel, but that really should be all she wrote for the round. Abel just trying to work his way around heaven, but little does he know there's 3 players already honed in onto his spot. 1 behind the smoke as well. I don't think he knows that that one's there either. So Abel... It was a well-worthy try with the teleport, but not going to come to fruition. And now it's map point coming out for the Tigers.
And Seawolves probably don't have an excellent buy here. They kind of have to pull together whatever they can to take these next 4 rounds to drag it to overtime. This is, like I said in the beginning, this was their map pick. This is kind of like where they're more comfortable on. If they lose this map, this could go sideways depending on how well the next map goes.
Rare for the Seawolves to lose an opening map as
Exactly.
well. I don't think I've seen it just yet. There's been times in which they've had to go to 3 games and they have lost that middle map, but never the first one. So that's a different kind of mental gymnastics that you have to perform to come back into a series down 1. Kaiser trying to prevent that from becoming a reality, but little does he know that there's going to be 5 Tigers knocking on his door very, very quickly. Kaiser in a very, very passive angle, so it might be a retake coming out from Stony Brook very quickly, and there comes the attacker Killjoy to pretty much secure exactly what I just said, because no defender is going to try to step into that, especially with only 3 seconds left. As I say that, Majestic is swinging in for a fight, trying to go for a lockdown. No zero players detained, so Abel and Majestic were able to get out of it, and they get the kill to start off the round as well. Majestic, I don't think he knows that GPL is that close over to his right, but he is playing passive enough to not get spotted out by GPL either. Now Majestic is going to have to clear out that corner, coming around this corner, looking for a little bit of a ultimate coming out, but GPL will collect that first kill. Tigers in strong positions. All their positions get revealed now, and now Bao scoping in, missing the shot, and Panda's going to take out Gunny as well. To make matters worse, Bowie follows up onto Kaiser, and Abel's dead, leaving it all onto Bao. No ultimate either. Is just going to have to go into this wall 1-on-3 with an operator. Swings in for the first, finds GPL, but Panda will finish it off. Map 1 goes over to the Tigers, and Stony Brook are going to have to win the next 2 in order to remain undefeated in their conference, remain undefeated in the season. That's what's on the line here.
Yeah, and this is a tough loss from them. Kind of slipped away there in the second half. Hopefully they can bounce back, but
And we are back for map number 2. Already on the screen, Haven is the selection. Composition's coming out, Nidalee. Do you like what you're seeing from Stony Brook? Gunny onto the duelist this time? I don't think we've seen that from him yet this year.
I don't think we have, and I'm very excited, especially since he plays his Sentinel as a duelist quite often, actually. We see him just kind of taking those first fights. Having the util to back him up, I'm very excited to see how that'll go. They are starting defending on the first half, so unfortunate swap for the agent, but I think that it'll go well. I want to see what he can do. I do find it interesting. We have on the Seawolves, 3 different players have played duelist now. Not many teams flex that that widely.
I mean, I think it actually might have been even 4. Because I know Majestic has.
Yeah, but
I know Gunny
Majestic,
has.
Gunny, Bao,
Bao has.
and I don't think Abel or Kaiser.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Maybe
Maybe
not.
it is just 3.
But
nonetheless, we got
yeah.
Gunny on the Neon right now, so I think that's going to be very interesting because it just allows him to take, again, fights in his favor. So Gunny's going to instantly sprint down that C long and force everyone on the Tigers up towards that B play. And that site is empty right now, so the Tigers will take it cleanly, looking for the plant right away. And Stony Brook is going to be into an awkward 5-on-5 retake here in the pistol. Bao looking for a quick flank. Not going to be finding anyone out over towards that mid window. Is only on the classic, so any armor is going to be able to prevent a one-shot headshot. Gunny coming in on the flank as well. Obviously, we saw Stony Brook push down C long, so it's just really strange positioning coming out from everyone, but Majestic makes it work for him with 2 headshots. Panda will follow it up with 2 of his own, and now trades are coming across all on the site. 2-on-2 is what remains from these teams, as Kaiser's trying to work his way in from B and loses his teammate on an opposite angle. Majestic will fall to the headshot of Bowie, and now leaves it for a clutch for Kaiser, but Bowie will triple up in the round, making it 1-0 for Missouri.
Close round there, but fast adaptation from the Tigers. Hearing Gunny run all the way down C, they just accelerate into B and take site. They had 2 players watching Heaven over on A, which Majestic actually managed to take out both of them, which very impressive from him, but unfortunately that's all he could find. The round did slip away from them. Another pistol slipping away from the Seawolves. We see a force coming in from the Tigers, a Vandal in the hands of Bowie. This could go there. This is most likely to go their way.
So B-Dog with the Spectre as well. Going to be a lot of pressure applied on the Seawolves right away. Obviously, the 3-site setup on Haven does lead for a more of a split map, more of a stretch map, which could favor the Seawolves on the attacking side, but they need to get there at this point, and they're going to be coming with a quick flank onto A. Right now, it's only Kaiser to defend, and probably does not have the weapons or utility in order to do so, so his team is going to need to come on a fast flank, but they're leaving him out to dry right now, and Panda will drop him. Excuse me, it was Majestic on the site and not Kaiser. So Stony Brook will be going for a bit of a flank on the retake. Gunny with the only one coming from a traditional angle over from B.
Bao's got nothing but a shorty. I don't see him winning too many fights.
Kaiser goes down to GPL. Gunny looking to swing in, but Bowie's already holding that angle and likely will win anything there. Bao, he's trying to creep up in the smoke with the shorty, trying to do anything he can with it, but again, it's so awkward for him. Gets a little bit of utility for him to run forward here. And again, Stony Brook just playing. I think they're playing for exits at this point. Is the only thing I can imagine is Bao in a good angle to pick this up onto Wader, but he's going to get flanked from GPL, who finds it with a stinger instead. So now it's just Abel and Gunny left up. Now it's just Gunny left up, and could have lived if he wanted to, but is just trying to do whatever damage he can. It's a flawless coming out from the Tigers.
Yeah, Gunny definitely didn't want to stay alive. He wouldn't have gotten money. He does get the ult orb for dying to the player, though, so that is a plus if you want to look at it that way. But we should see guns coming out from the Seawolves now, and with the strength of the buy the Tigers had, this is more closer to a gun round for them as well. They had a Vandal and a Guardian. This is going to be a strong round from both sides, so it's not going to be a quick anti-eco coming from the Seawolves. We see a A-lean coming in from the Tigers, quick stun from the Breach.
So it's going to be looks like the start of an A play for the Tigers, but obviously they have plenty of time to opt out of that.
Taking their time for sure. Backing out here now, they have the Killjoy pushed up in B, taking the front space there, and none of the Seawolves are actually on B site. So if they do continue creeping up, a couple of smokes will grant them the entire site.
It looks like Stony Brook is really willing to play a retake setup on B as they just hold it quite passively. Obviously, B is one of the more open sites on the map. I mean, considering it's in the middle of the
Yeah.
map. But Abel is going to work his way into this position as well. Is going to have to find the way to the back of the site. Will find an opening onto Bowie more than likely, and there it is. Pulling out some utility. GPL denied entry into the site, and he will come forward and get the kill onto GPL. Abel a triple in this round. On for a 4K if his teammates let him get the fight, but Wader makes it interesting into a 2-on-1 as he kills off an over-aggressive Gunny. Now it's a 2-on-1 that is winnable for Wader. Throwing some utility onto site and just backing back out. Has his crosshair on Bao, but obviously doesn't know that. Will clear this left corner, but Abel's in the right. Such a hard angle for him to work his way through. Spamming out onto Abel. He'll smartly reposition. Excuse me, it was Bao repositioning and getting the final kill. 2-1. Seawolves find their first of the map.
Wader almost nearly won that. And the shots at Bao, one stray bullet could have taken him out there, but excellently played from the Seawolves holding their
Or one of
crossfire
those shock
there.
darts that almost found its way onto Kaiser in the corner.
Yeah.
That would have made it a 1-on-1 as well.
But well played from Abel there, kind of sneaking into backside, finding 3 on the round. But now we head into the next. We see a heavy C-lean coming in from the Tigers, not really trying A or B anymore, but we do have 2 members of the Seawolves sitting here on C.
It's going to be a very quick A play. Bao getting some shots down range, but he's not really connecting with a lot of them. Looking to teleport his way out of there as Bowie on the top of the site, looking to just spray through that smoke. Again, not finding anything, but the entry and site is awarded over to the Tigers, so it is going to be a 5-on-4 retake for the Seawolves. Really haven't favored them in the last map, at least, on these big retakes, and the Tigers getting in such good positions to just throw shots down range. Obviously, an open plant. Bao, can you get this kill? It gun goes dry. And GPL with a little bit of BM as well after that. The round's not even over yet, bud, and you're still going for it. Kaiser trying to get back in. Gunny will find a headshot over onto GPL, so disrespect of the round gone. Kaiser looking to do anything. Stony Brook throwing out smokes. Will go for the defuse as well. Kaiser onto it. He's going to tap it just for a second. Gunny running forward is going to get stunned right now, and he's the last player up. Spike is probably a little too far gone at this point, and Bowie will finish it off. 3-1 over to the Tigers.
Once Bao fell there, that round was kind of over for the Seawolves. Without smokes, it's hard to cover your defuse there. The long hold from the Tigers played excellently. The breach util stopping all aggression from Gunny there at the end.
And again, Stony Brook, they really had enough players alive to be able to shield a defuse as long as they had the smokes down.
Yeah.
You know, if you just have a couple of guys spamming forward and the other guys blocking off, you realistically can get that spike down because, you know, they don't have anything like a Viper pit in order, or not a Viper pit, but a Viper poison to, you know, do that area of effect. Gunny going forward right now with the ultimate. Will catch off a Bowie and will catch off a B-Dog. Still spamming forward into the smoke. Has Wader behind it, but he doesn't know how many they're there. As Panda, GPL, and Wader, the entire team is on the opposite side. Gunny just running around frantically, just trying to find one more kill with this ultimate. Has Abel there in support. Smoke fades. Gunny for another one. Bao to follow it up, and it's a 3-on-1 greatly played by Gunny.
GPL's been caught out here. They know where he is. All 3 of the Seawolves playing around the smoke.
They do know they have the spike, so GPL has to go in one way or another, and it's a thrifty coming out from the Seawolves as GPL falls.
That overdrive from Neon is very strong in the right hands, and Gunny wore those right hands. A 3K off the fingers was very quick from him too. A stun coming in from the breach, and he instantly acted off that.
Play.
Yeah, the teamwork coming in from the Seawolves definitely shining here. Now we do go to the next. Guns have been bought for the Seawolves.
We did see them get a thrifty last game that really wasn't capitalized on because they won the thrifty and then immediately lost the next round. So Stony Brook trying to right their wrongs.
We do see a slower take coming in from the Tigers, but Gunny's
Wow.
all the way in window and is
Panda.
dropped.
Great shot on the Sheriff to make this a 5-on-4, and his team has plenty of ultimates as well to make this round more than a possibility as Bao can't get caught off over aggressive. He doesn't know there's 4 players lurking on the other side. Might have a couple of spidey senses tingling to tell him to back up towards C the map, but instead they back off and probably work their way over towards A as Bao is pushing up down C long. He will be calming all of this information over to his team.
And Bao's taking so much space that Abel and Kaiser and Majestic are able to kind of hold their location on A. It's just them against 3 right now in long, and Bao's gonna sneak past this Killjoy turret.
Going all the way through spawn, so it is going to take him a second to activate, but his teammate is making up for that time lost. Majestic and Kaiser both contributing 1, makes this round a 3-on-3. Now, it has to be all up to Bao coming in off the flank. If he can activate for 1 or 2, that's all he needs. Finds the first, swinging in for the second. B-Dog just gets around the corner, so instead it's a 2-on-2, but Abel will say, I got you, bro, and helps him up. Bao for the last one. It's a headshot onto GPL, and Stony Brook tie us at 3.
Great timing from Bao there. Once the lockdown, the Killjoy alarm bot noticed him, he just ran straight in to help out his team, and the round was over there. They pinched him on long and got the kills. Excellently played. Now we do see the Tigers were, I believe, on a half buy there. They after losing that Thrifty a couple of rounds prior, so they should have a full buy again now. And we will, and tied at 3-3. We will see how this round goes. This might be. Is this our first full buy on both sides? Or
it should be the first.
Yeah,
full
because the last one was a bonus coming in from.
Because it was weird buys back and forth for a little bit.
Yeah, so this should be one of their first. And we see there's an Omen in the defender spawn already after using the ult.
So Stony Brook got a rat amongst them. Obviously, they're going to know that the Omen ulted, so they shouldn't be completely caught off guard. But nonetheless, this is so much information as they're going to find an undefended C site to be taken. Now Bao's looking to use his own ultimate, so if you thought this round couldn't get any weirder, just wait. Panda is caught out, so maybe the C site won't be theirs for long. Bao just going to be faking that ultimate, so they don't exactly know where he's going to be. Gunny for 2 kills. That's going to be a 3rd on site as well, swinging for a 4th. Not going to find it, but Abel will trade him out instead. Seawolves take the round off some heroics from Gunny.
Yeah, that's the benefit of the Neon. Once they knew Panda was over on C site, Gunny just ran in full speed, and he found 3 off the back of that. Gunny on Duelist is a force to be reckoned with. He is firing all cylinders right now.
So going into this next round, Stony Brook trying to take a 2-round advantage for the first time on Haven. Obviously, losing that gun round in the follow-up will put you in a hole for a little bit, but as we're seeing, it's really the gun rounds that matter.
Heavy C-lean coming in from the Tigers, shooting out the camera, and they're just pushing right off the back of that. Majestic is kind of stuck on site.
Has Bowie the first one to deal with. Bowie's going to make it an easy work onto Majestic, though. Drops to 8 HP, so he's a very, very easy kill for anyone on the Seawolves side, but they might not be able to get to him because they have to work their way back onto site first. Drone going in as the first point of contact. Abel working his way over towards this flank, sending in his stuns. Not going to catch out B-Dog, who just barely avoids it, but Gunny will find a headshot onto him. Gets traded out instantly by Panda, and now they're exploding onto site. Bao swinging forward with Abel. Abel will find Wader in the corner, and now it's a 2-on-2. Smokes for Stony Brook are non-existent, so they can't really go for this defuse after these original smokes from Abel fade. Looking down range, they have Pandas trapped over towards the corner. Kaiser getting onto the spike, but it's 2 instant headshots from the Tigers. We'll seal that and put us at 4-4.
This long hold coming in from the Tigers on C is really working out for them. The Seawolves really haven't been able to find an answer to that both times so far. They kind of, once they lose Bao, the smokes aren't there to hold them back. But now we do see a lot of pings coming out along the C site for the Seawolves. They must be referring to similar things, but the Tigers are leaning back towards A now, not really wanting to press their luck on the same site multiple times. Gunny has pushed up into B cubby there, hoping to take a aggressive angle.
Obviously, when he has plays set up and calmed for him, he's been so deadly on them. It's been in these rounds where he's really had to make space for himself that the Neon pick hasn't been as successful. Drones are going to fly by each other, so At least the Silvas know that they're in good company, and Abel setting up for a play exactly like I said. 4 players for Stony Brook, all towards this A site. Stun going to be missed, so Gunny can't exactly swing off of that. He does get spotted out, so Wader knows he's there. We'll say that to the rest of his team as the Tigers are now going for a bit of an A-B split, not committing too hard to either site just yet.
Looks like they're eyeing garage. A smoke going through onto the garage window. There is a trip from Majestic there. So the Seawolves now know they're in there, that trip being broken. And Abel is lining up his util to hold them back there. But the Tigers have left. They're already leaning back towards A, where Bao might find a unwanted fight with Wader if he doesn't expect him there. But
Bao looking for the headshot. He gets it. Wader the first one to fall, and his team now have to work into the site 4-on-5. Bao still just being a nuisance. Not going to get cleared out too easily, but they don't have to if they don't go towards the A site. Stony Brook are going to have to rotate off quickly as this B site is where the play is going to end. Majestic with a great kill over onto GPL is going to make this one a near impossibility for the Tigers as they're going to be pinched from almost every angle that they can imagine. Holding the B site with a 2-man disadvantage is almost impossible.
yeah, a 5v3 retake is always hard.
But there's 2 kills right back. Make it a third. Bowie with 2 headshots before B-Dog falls. Stony Brook to the 2-on-2. Gunny trying to swing onto site, using the speed to get there, but Abel will finish off everything that is necessary and throwing a few unnecessary bullets the way of the Tigers as well. Second time we've seen it this map. Things are getting a little feisty, and Stony Brook up 5-4.
They're definitely having fun in there, the teabagging, the extra shots, but they're here to fight now. The Seawolves, an excellent retake coming in from them, despite losing like 3 kills in the span of like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But now we do see another heavy lean over here on A. Whenever you see Abel and Gunny paired together, you're going to see some magic with the breach stun and neon slides. Looks like they're planning to try another quick play here.
Gunny obviously making sure he's not going to be spotted out by any utility, has the classic out to clear it out. Now he starts to make his way forward on A, but no one from the Tigers is going to be there to welcome him. Instead, they're going to go quick in towards B. Bowie the first one forward, but he gets caught out by Kaiser, dashing in onto site. Now Stony Brook will let them get the plant down. Again, holding B when you don't have this map advantage is going to be so hard to do, and the Seawolves are going for a quick flank. Gunny already in towards Winnow, gets tagged down by Wader, and he will find him through the wall. Abel falls as well, and now Stony Brook in a bad place. Majestic swinging out finds the first 2, has 2 more players to find a great headshot. Can he find a 4th onto T-Dog? He has him in a corner where he wants him, looking for the classic shots. Instead, B-Dog will drop it into a 2-on-1. And why? Bow, why do you get the knife out in this situation? Hey, if it works, it works. And Stony Brook up 6-4.
Bao, he saw the opportunity. He got the paranoia hit. He teleported in, and as an Omen main myself, I respect that. That's the dream of every Omen player.
I mean, listen, like I said, if it works, it works. But these are the 2 top teams in the league, and things are getting a little hectic between the extra shots on dead bodies. I mean, obviously, collegiate esports is new enough where you can't say you have a long-standing rivalry with anyone else, but Stony Brook trying to start one right now.
Yeah, and they're on the back foot, too, so that's extra aggressive of them coming in off the loss on the first map.
Gunny has some people that are going to be swinging on him in just a second. Bowie will be the first one to do it. It's going to be a very, very quick A-site hit, but Gunny will stand on the back for a little bit, finds 2 headshots, keeping his team equal in this round, trying to swing around the smoke, finding B-Dog, but he'll get him instead with the Bulldog. Gunny is dropped. Bow up towards heaven with the op, not going to find anything. 3-on-1, and a chance for a 5th for the Tigers. Majestic, the only one to stand in their way, working his way on site quietly, needs to swing to his left, but can't. Wader will finish it off with a headshot and a 3K.
A quick hit from the Tigers there to kind of shoot back. Another round lost there would have been kind of detrimental for the mental. This is really a good bounce back from getting knifed there. But
I also want to point out, Niddlin, that it's not like these teams have like a beef in traditional sports as well. Because obviously, you know, you can point out the fact that Missouri is a part of the SEC, which is a Power 4 conference, and Stony Brook isn't a Power 4 conference. So these teams would never naturally meet in traditional sports as well. So I don't know where this animosity is coming from, but I'm absolutely here for it.
It's always so much fun to watch them kind of have fun with it, get a little in the mud, if you will.
Attacker Killjoy is going to make this a very quick round. Abel finding one necessary, as he probably wasn't going to be able to get out of it in time, and now Kaiser is going running for the hills. The Attacker Killjoy should detain one person, but instead Gunny falls on a trade, so it's a 3-on-2. Stony Brook, just really aggressive in this round, has actually made it work for them. Spike's still not planted, and this long flank is coming in for the Seawolves as well. You got to look onto map. They're being hemmed in spawn, so even if Wader decides to peel off, it's not going to really matter, as Bowie will play oversight as Wader goes for the spike plant, looking in towards heaven, but no one's going to be coming from that angle. Instead, they're both going to be working their way in from where this drone is coming out right now. Flank coming in as well. Stony Brook just being very patient. Wader looking for it. He has Majestic Nuts to contest with, and Wader will find the headshot necessary. Now both players on site for the Seawolves. They're going to have to stick this defuse, knowing that both players from the Tigers can swing out from essentially any angle they want to, as Wader's been gone for too long to switch it up. Bowie going to be the first one peeking in. Nice ult coming out from Wader, and he's onto a 4K in the round already, looking for that last kill, but instead Bao will be falling off his sight, looking for the flank onto Wader, will deny the ace, but won't get the round.
A good play coming in from Wader there, playing it off his ult, and we do once again have an even half there. That flank from Majestic going awry was kind of the nail in the coffin. It looked like the Seawolves were kind of taking it slow to try to play off of it, but the round is done now, and we move into the next half. I am very excited to see the Seawolves on attack now. Gunny on Neon. Neon plays are always exciting on attack when he can choose where to go and not have to react to the opposing team.
And you also got to mention that last time we were in this position, it was 6-6 at the half change. And that pistol round meant a lot to deciding the outcome.
I will say this map is a little more attack-sided, so there is still a chance, but this pistol is once again critical. We know how the Seawolves kind of have choked on pistols in the past. Gunny spotted out by that dart, and a lot of heavy presence coming in from the Tigers. The breach rotating over.
Bao going for some fights all by himself. He has players rotating towards him, but nothing that I would really consider as support, as two Seawolves players are already down to half HP.
And Gunny's just creeping up down short. He's about to find Bowie on the other side.
So Battle of the Duelists, Gunny winning it for now, getting Bowie just a little bit lower than himself, but now it's 3 players for the Seawolves so severely tagged up. Gunny turning on the Jets right now, trying to find out Bowie, but instead it's a Sheriff that will find Gunny. Majestics will find one back, but a great headshot onto Bao. Bowie still alive on site, just being such a menace for the Seawolves, and they're getting iced out of the round with all the utility coming forward. 5 players from the Tigers on site. That's what the Seawolves have to get through. Abel trying to do anything he can, but it's only 1 kill, and the Tigers are up 7-6.
The pistols really are the bane of the Seawolves. They kind of just get caught out by util every time. The first one last game was kind of just an exception, apparently. But once again, we see the Tigers kind of pulling away. A 7-6 now. The guns most likely point to a 8-6. The Seawolves will have to figure something out if they don't want this to end the same way as it did last game.
They're going to have to figure a way to get Gunny into a couple of favorable fights to start it off, and it looks like it's going to be a quick B play coming out. Gunny using the speed, instantly getting in towards this garage area of the map. Looking for some fights, has Panda trapped in a corner and has GPL in the midst of some utility, but he finds 2 with his stinger anyways. GPL now backing off onto site, Abel with a quick 2, and he's opened it up. Plant should come down for the Seawolves. Not going to be planting at 4C long. Instead, they're going to have to stay here 3-on-2 and just battle everything out. Stinger picked up. Not going to be a Vandal. That would have been much preferred. Abel in a strong position right now. We'll let Bowie and B-Dog pass by him and then go in for the flank. If this works, it could win them the round. Abel is just calming to Bao to stay alive for as long as possible. Bao finds a kill as well. Then Abel comes in for the flank in the 3K. It's a 2-on-1. Seawolves just have to outweight Wader, and they will. Thrifty coming out for the Seawolves, the 3rd of this series.
This is just so many Thrifties. I don't think I've seen this many Thrifties ever up to this day. But this is just what they needed. Now they've got guns picked up. This is a bonus for the Seawolves. We see, and the Tigers are definitely going to be on a half by now. And so you see Bao pulling out that Outlaw.
Yep.
As lethal as an operator in these kinds of rounds.
And reloads faster. And shoots faster.
At both, yeah.
And the hip fire's better.
Hipfire is much better, but if he's taking long-range fights, he's not going to want to rely on
I
that.
mean, then
but
that would defeat the whole purpose
that's
of buying
true.
a gun
Yeah.
with the scope.
The Marshall, though, does have an almost accurate hipfire,
Yeah.
which is why I bring that up.
Pando. Out of nowhere with 2 quick kills on aggression coming up towards mid. Gunny's kept in with this utility as well. Bow!
Wow.
How do you find 2 kills back that quickly? It must have been a scoped-in shot and then a hip fire like we were just talking about. So Stony Brook to a 3-on-2. They're going to try to explode onto this A site right away. B-Dog makes it a 2-on-1 instead with a headshot onto Gunny, and he has a Vandal. So all of a sudden, without going from any guns in this round, B-Dog finds himself in a winnable position with a Vandal. Working his way onto site, he's going to have to clear a far or close corner and then deal with Bow on site. B-Dog getting smoked off is going to get peeked from Bow instead, and it's that gun we were talking about at the beginning to close it out. Seawolves back on top 8-7.
The Outlaw, this is why it was added to the game for the anti-ecos. It fires 2 scope shots within like a second of each other. Those shots were both most likely scoped. He doesn't need to hip fire after the first one.
I want to imagine he hip fired because I think that's cool.
That would be cooler, but we'll never know, I guess.
So Bow obviously still on with this weapon. Not going to be as effective as it was last round, but
Yeah.
if he gets the headshots,
It's still lethal, yeah. But even 140 damage is almost a death sentence, even in normal rounds. Someone else easy kills for them.
so Majestic getting ahead of this smoke so he can tell his teammates that they can come forward through safety. But not a lot of ultimates up.
Yeah, just the Omen ult, which isn't likely to see much use.
It's not really
Yeah.
game-changing. It's not a game breaker by any means.
No, not at all. A lot of garage presence taken from the Seawolves, but they do give it up. Majestic.
Looking for that fight. Instead, he's just going to throw out a smoke as he gets tagged down to 10 HP. So he'll be an easy cleanup kill for anyone on the Tigers, but he's in a position that he's not going to be taking the first fight anyways. We'll spot out that drone that spots him back. Looking for some spam battle, but instead, real action right on the map is going through Gunny. Looking to get in towards this B site. Has 3 people holding an angle, and Panda will pick up a headshot onto Abel. Kaiser will drone through Garage. Not going to spot out anyone, so he can tell his teammates that much. But Gunny will fall down as well, and the Tigers are well on their way to win this round and get it back to an 8-on-8 frame. Kaiser sending some utility towards the back of site, just trying to see if anyone's going to be lurking around there. Majestic swings in first, breaking some utility, but then gets suppressed himself. It's so much utility being dumped into this B site, and Kaiser and Majestic come up for the better. Stony Brook all of a sudden into a 3-on-2, looking for the 4th kill, and they get it onto GPL. Bowie trying to get this round back for his team that they were winning so heavily, but Majestic for a 4th instead, and the Seawolves are up to 9.
Majestic got those 4 kills on 10 HP.
That's crazy.
He took 140 damage at the start of the round, and then decided, I'm not going to take any more, and gets 4 kills.
He said, yeah, you can take the first 140. All I need is the last 10.
Exactly. You didn't finish me, that's your loss. And boy, did they fight their way through that, playing it up close in B. They want that lead to stay theirs, and that's very important for them. They can't keep going back and forth like this, or it'll get drawn out into an overtime game. This is the Seawolves' chance to tear it away, and Bow
going for some quick fights. I don't know what his read was, but hey, it works out anyways. Gets it onto Panda. Now Stony Brook are obviously going to try to explode onto the C site. They kill GPL and make it a 5-on-3 instantly. The knives are out from Bowie, so anything is possible in this round. Is B-Dog just trying to catch if anyone's going to get aggressive through that smoke. Peeling back around, does know Abel is working toward that side of the map. Drone's going to be the first one in for the Tigers, and Bowie, just like I said, 2 kills on the knives, make it 3 with another headshot. This round is on for the Seawolves. They need to close it out cleanly. Abel on the flank, spots out Bowie, doesn't connect the shots necessary, though. Will stop that plant, and Kaiser will tag Waiter as well so they can see him through the wall. Kaiser doesn't really have a good plant for him. This is going to be a lot on Abel to do it, but Bowie with the 4th and another headshot. Hunter's Fury coming out will kill off Waiter. It's a 1-on-1 with a jet that's so low, and Kaiser will close it. Seawolves up to double digits, trying to force a 3rd map.
Bowie fought so hard for that round. That would have been his ace if he managed to catch Kaiser there, but Kaiser just so calm in those clutch situations, getting that ult put away just in time when he got rushed down by the jet. Incredible shooting from Bowie. Those headshots, quick quick right after each other.
I said it. Anything's possible when you
Anything's
have the knives
possible.
out, and they proved it right. Obviously, a little too close for comfort for the Seawolves, but as long as they walk away with these rounds this late into the map, I think that's really what matters.
Yeah, their Seawolves are still pulling away their lead, which is exactly what they need. They can scrap all they need to, but it'll go their way eventually. Now, we do see heavy C presence taken from the Tigers there, but drone coming in through garage will push back the Omen.
GPL, he's been very aggressive in a lot of these fights that he's been taking, so Stony Brook may have labeled that as a point of weakness, maybe if you can catch him out.
Yeah.
Bao looking for the ultimate. He does fake a lot of these and is going to do that yet again, just trying to throw in a little bit of chaos for the Tigers, but Gunny's going to explode onto site right away and found by Panda right away, so now Stony Brook are going to scrap that play and go back to the workshop as they come back towards this A site. B-Dog and Waiter are right there for them, and Bao's going to get his head taken off. Stony Brook a little confused on what they're doing in this round at this point, as they're going to need to find 2 players right away on this entry. Abel finds the first. Majestic doesn't find the second, but traded out by Kaiser. 3 on 2. If they get to A site first, they can get a quick plant and maybe, just maybe, claw their way back into this round. But the ultimate coming out from Omen will beat them out. Abel has to clear everything, and Bowie will find the first. Abel will trade him back with a headshot. Does know where the second player is, baiting GPL out into a fight as well. Just has to watch his back. It's such a hard position for him to be in. Doesn't know that he's getting hard flanked right now. Does have the spike at the very least, so can look for this plant and does get it down. Waiter and GPL up against him. It's Panda, actually, and GPL will find Abel first, playing Oversight from Heaven, and now the Tigers, back to winning ways, put up an 8th.
A close round for the Seawolves, but excellent shooting from the Tigers. Team ace coming out from them, each of them taking out a win, and the Operator will be carried through for the next round. Bowie on that op, he finds a good kill this round, but now this next round he can do a lot more damage if he plays in different places. The Seawolves do need to be a little careful now playing around that.
So 10-8 is the scoreline. This time the Seawolves find themselves in the driver's seat this late into the map. Obviously last time they were playing catch-up for a majority of it.
Yeah. But now we have to see if they can close it out, and just to bring it to a third map, this isn't even, they won't even win off this like they usually do if they win a second map. Gunny running
Going in
straight
right away,
down.
looking for Panda, not going to find him, and GPL finds 2 behind the play. A great defense already coming out for the Tigers. Bao, do you have anything to say about this? Kaiser will help him out on the C site, and it's going to be another op kill for Bowie. Nice shot from Kaiser, but that's all that he has to say. 10-9 as quick as you like.
I think Gunny went a little too fast there. He ran right past GPL without even looking at him, and GPL finds the next 2 players on his team because of that.
Obviously, you know, if you have your duelist going in first like that, you don't expect to have to go for any gunfights.
Yeah.
Now, if you do that intentionally, it can work wonders for you, because if GPL is trying to flick to get Gunny and then has to flick back over, it can work well, but I don't think that was intentional.
Yeah, I don't think Gunny realized GPL was there because he didn't comment to his teammates because no one expected it.
Yeah.
But the Tigers are closing the gap now. We see a heavy, strong A push coming in from Bowie, holding that Operator. A push coming in from the Seawolves would be caught out by that, so they're playing it a lot slower now.
I'm surprised they're even sending 2 people over towards this A site instead of just having Bowie hold that sight line by himself. Considering Stony Brook have been known to explode onto B and C.
Yeah, I think they just want to cover all their angles, make sure Bowie doesn't get flanked somehow, but a very slow round coming in from the Seawolves.
The pace of this round really is just underlining the tension that this round controls on the map, because it could be a very, very big swing round, either tying at 10 and sending Stony Brook probably down to an eco, or allowing Stony Brook up to an 11 and getting close to forcing the Tigers to an eco themselves. Bao is lurking in this smoke right now. Panda doesn't know that he's there, and it's probably going to get spotted out by this this scanning dart coming out from Kaiser. And here comes the play onto C. Kaiser will trade out the initial one. GPL fighting through some utility, but he can't find any of the kills. Able with the stinger to get it, and now Stony Brook planting for long in a 4-on-3. Waiter has something to say about that as he finds a headshot over onto Gunny, and now a couple of ultimates coming out from the Tigers make this more than a possibility.
B-Dog lining up his opts not to go for it, which is the smart choice because the Seawolves are all playing off-site. They're all camped out in Cubby and Long. Now the ult comes through, traded on both sides.
So now
Everyone
Stony
is
Brook
stunned.
definitely need to go for a little bit of a peek if they can, but like you said, since it was offsetting, no one got on the spike for the Tigers. Now Majestic going for that first peek. More utility coming out from the Seawolves. Waiter will find the first on the operator. That's Majestic's gone. Now Abel gone. Kaiser has to go for these swings by himself, gets the diffuser first, but I think they have more than enough time as the stick will come through for Waiter, but it doesn't go. Waiter not able to get it. Oh my god, the Seawolves winning that round by a matter of seconds.
If you have Kaiser in a clutch, you can never count him out. 0.21 seconds left on the clock there. The narrowest of margins, but Kaiser finds the diffuser just in time. And now the Seawolves have 11. They're close to map point, and the Tigers might need to be on an eco. I'm not entirely sure how strong their economy was up now.
And obviously, if Stony Brook win this round, they will get up to match point, trying to... Why do I keep saying match point? Map point. Trying to get towards that third map, then that they could be in a position to take the match and stay undefeated at 5-0. Obviously, Missouri not playing for an undefeated scoreline, but trying to stay undefeated in matches they've actually been able to complete. Bowie will go for an initial peek, finds Gunny, so it's a duelist-on-duelist action, and the Tigers come out on top. They'll follow it up with another kill onto Majestic. Bowie still swinging from the site, and it's all left up to Kaiser early into this round. Kaiser in the 1-on-3, knows where one of these players is, but has no idea where the last two are coming from. Might try to get a little bit crafty going around, but GPL senses it out, gets it with the headshot, and puts it to 11-10, both team in double digits.
This still is anyone's game. This game it's too close to tell right now, but the Seawolves, a fast take coming from them, kind of just falls apart at the hands of Bowie. He just shoots right through them. Gunny falls instantly down and short. The slow rounds might actually be working better for the Seawolves in this game because of just how well the Tigers are shooting. They've all been hitting heads.
Especially when it's just... things get a little more hectic, a little bit more chaotic, and that's really where the Tigers have thrived if that play is coming into them a little sloppy.
Yeah, and we see the Seawolves are on a save now. A lot of classics. Gunny on his classic Sheriff finds one onto Bowie, putting us in a 5v4.
Yeah, that's a bad fight for Bowie to take, because you never want to fall into a disadvantage. Stony Brook not with a lot of game-breaking ultimates, and that's just how, as I say it, going to be traded instantly back. GPL and Panda for headshots will make this round easy again for the Tigers. I don't think they know Gunny is here, but doesn't matter anyways. Panda will find him out, and now it's just two players. Make it one player left. All up to Kaiser. He'll get a little bit more damage done. That's all, and we're tied at 11.
This is so close. I have a feeling we might be seeing overtime, but it depends on which way these next rounds go.
Obviously, the Seawolves doing the smart thing and saving last round instead of going for a bit of a broken bye, but now a gun round to decide who gets map point first. And I also want to mention, neither of these teams are in a good economic state.
No.
So whoever wins this may very well just win this map outright.
I think that the Tigers will have a stronger bye if they lose this round compared to if the Seawolves do, because they had the last two rounds go their way, but this round is make or break for the series even, because if the Seawolves fall here, that might be it for tonight. They might be done and out of it, losing their undefeated streak.
Stony Brook getting a little bit of information that Omen was over towards that C site. Kaiser working his way in towards mid. Stony Brook with a lot of presence right now towards the mid, besides Gunny, who obviously you expect to be the point of the spear, is working his way back towards Majestic now. B looks like it's going to be the location, and a round that honestly could decide the fate of Stony Brook's undefeated season, and Bao's going to start it off on the right foot. Gunny exploding into sight now. He will work his way all the way towards the back, and Stony Brook should get the plant down as soon as this initial utility fades, but Waiter doing a good job chasing down Bao with the ultimate. Now Gunny, can you find Bowie, who's on the knives? Very important to get this kill as soon as possible, and he will find the headshot onto Bowie. Panda going for the flank. No one looking towards his direction just yet, but they have to know that this is a possibility. Panda is smoked off. The rest of his teammates are still going for fights. Kaiser will fall on site, and now Panda looking to get his way in. Waiter, first point of contact, and they'll find the necessary trades. All left up to Abel into the one-on-one now. Abel, do you have it in you to find the fight? But GPL gets it instead and makes it 12-11. 1 round away from upsetting the Stony Brook Seawolves.
A close round there, but once again, the Tigers just shoot their way through. They're kind of firing a lot harder than the Seawolves are. They don't manage to pick up the op there at the end, so I doubt they have the economy to be able to pull one out, but I don't think it matters too much. The Seawolves have a really broken buy coming out here. They've got a Spectre here on Kaiser. I don't expect much stronger guns anywhere else.
They do have the Omen ult, they do have the Cypher ult, and they do have the Sova ult. So that's some things back in the favor of the Seawolves, but they are going to also have to contest with this Killjoy lockdown.
The Sova ult is a good counter to the Killjoy lockdown, but you could also play aggressive with that. Bao is
going instantly
in
into
heaven.
heaven. They don't know he's there. Bao finds the first one, looking for a second, but Bowie finds it with the operator. He does not have time to reload, so Gunny will chase him down. Stony Brook in a great position. Now using the Cypher ult will reveal the locations of all the remaining players, the 3 total that is. So Stony Brook, they just have to wait this out. Defender Killjoy is going to be huge in this round as it's going to lock down quite a few, but there comes the break, just like you said, with the Sova ultimate. Now Abel with a great angle to fire onto B-Dog, finds the first and the second, and we go to overtime.
incredible from the Seawolves there. The quick ult from Bao kind of just, no one expected it. I suppose they just didn't hear it or something, but they just did not expect him back there. And
I mean, because he goes for the fake so many times.
yeah, he's always faked it, but usually you can hear a cancel, but I guess they just didn't expect it this time. But we go back. Now the Seawolves back on defense. The Tigers leaning towards C for a quick hit there. That has been their most reliable site. I don't think they lost a post-plant C hold their entire half on
And
attack.
now, remind me and everyone at home exactly how overtime works in Valorant.
So overtime, both teams will swap sides. So the Tigers will start on attack again, and then next round will go to the Seawolves for attack. Whoever wins 2 rounds in a row will get the map their way, but they will have to string them together, or we go back and forth until we get a win by 2. And the Tigers are already pushed into C. They got a quick hit, but Gunny finds one onto GPL, lurking around in mid.
So here comes the retake. Stony Brook in a 5-on-4, but the Spike technically does act as a player back for the Tigers. Bowie will try that trade onto Gunny, now leaving that duelist off the map for the Seawolves. Abel working his way back into sight and finds 2 lining up instantly. Majestic for the last one, and the player is spotted out. Seawolves retake that one so quickly, coming off of Abel's just beautiful shooting.
So much for what I said about their C post-plant hold. The Seawolves just went so fast that they couldn't get back into their long and cubby positions. The Seawolves kind of just ran them down. Abel with an incredible lineup shot there, getting 2 there. Abel's been shooting real strong. He's been excellent on the retakes this entire game. Now we see the Seawolves on attack, and if they can take this, we're going to map 3. But if not, we run it again. Overtime to part 2.
So Stony Brook, no ultimates this time, so they can't exactly run back that last play that they just did. But Niddleton, you said the slower rounds have been working better for the Seawolves. I want to know if that's what they're going to opt to, but instead, it looks like it's going to be a bit of a quick play coming out. Gunny getting activated right away, but he's plucked out of the air by that operator. And now Stony Brook, they got to reset. They got to rethink what they're doing because they no longer have their co-IGL alive, and more importantly, their duelist.
Majestic has been inserted here into short. He does have a chance here to make some magic, but the rest of the Seawolves are looking towards B, which has been their go-to for mid-round plays. B-Dog about
spotted out by Bao. Not going to find any headshots there, but Bao is teleporting into the back of sight and gets dropped by B-Dog. 5-on-3, the Seawolves are not capitalizing on this match point. Majestic trying to work his way in, but I have a feeling Bowie does have that angle locked down. 5-on-2, Seawolves don't even have the spike planted yet. Abel, you have to find something right now in this strong position. Obviously, B-Dog does know that him being on the back of sight is a possibility, but they seem more than willing to give it up, but maybe that's a mistake, as Abel does find the first headshot onto GPL. Now they're going back over towards this A site. B-Dog will drop Abel. It's all left up to Kaiser. Nice headshot from him, but he can't make anything more than that. 13-13, win by 2 reestablished.
We go again. The glass cannon operator coming in from Bowie is a bold choice, but it's been working. He's been shooting really well on the operator there, because you can't get shield and you can't get most of your util if you buy an operator.
Yep.
But he just doesn't need it. He'll just shoot your way through.
Dash is all that he wants.
That's
He
all
just
he
wants to be
needs.
aggressive, and he wants to go for those fights. And obviously, picking off Gunny is the real
Yeah.
difference maker.
Gunny is what breaks open sights with his slides and fast takes, but now we go back to Seawolves on defense again.
Might be a repeat of what we saw last time, because the Tigers are already lined up to take this C site. They have all 5 members there, and it will be a take on to C, but Majestic starting it off on the right foot, finding that initial frag. Tag not going to come through on Waiter, so they can't spam through these smokes, and Bao is so low on the backside. Getting blinded as well. Majestic needs to help his teammate, but he can't, and 3 players for the Seawolves falling into session. Gunny trying to sprint his way over, but it's just him and Kaiser to retake against 4 players from Missouri. Both working their way in from the same angle will find GPL with help from the drone. Gunny now going forward again, baiting out that sprint speed just a little bit. Now working his way behind this smoke. Has 2 players watching this exact angle. Doesn't know that. Uses the speed, but Panda drops him with a nice headshot. Through the smoke, Kaiser will die. And this time, it's the Tigers up to map and match point.
This might be it. This is the last round potentially of the night. The Seawolves need to kind of turn it around, find an attacking round here that they couldn't find last time. Hopefully, if they can play around the potential operator that Bowie might buy, they could kind of work around it, but this is where it all comes to a head.
So Stony Brook, maybe go slow this round. The rushes haven't exactly been working for them, but Gunny's going to go right back to the play that he just took. And this time, Bowie's not there to meet him with the operator. So space taken for the Seawolves. They peel back and go towards the mid.
And rotations have come in to the A site from the Tigers. Bowie's still lurking around in spawn, but no one's on C quite just yet. GPL in his usual spot in garage might catch Kaiser off guard if he decides to peek it, but he decides against it, and they go back towards B.
Kaiser not looking in the right angle right now, but now getting some support from his teammates, and they explode onto the B side. Panda will start it off with a headshot. Seawolves already down in this crucial round. Kaiser will importantly trade it back. Abel looking through this smoke, might spam it a little bit, and if he does, he could find Panda behind it. Abel still looking to gain this space. Obviously, the Seawolves don't want to be hemmed in on site. GPL will drop the spike, not the end of the world, as Majestic trades it back and Bao with another headshot. Down to a 3-on-2 with 40 seconds left in the round. GPL with such a strong angle, but it doesn't matter as Majestic will drop Bowie, leaving it into a 3-on-1. GPL finds the first required of him, swinging through the smoke, and what a spray transfer from GPL to finish off the round and the series. I honestly had no idea that was going to happen. It caught me completely off guard. Just 2 quick headshots from GPL, and that's it.
Yeah, I thought that was the round for the Seawolves. That looked so close, that 2v1 there, but insane from GPL there to close it out and finish the Seawolves streak. And that's it. They've lost the game. Then
4-1 on the season now officially. I mean, hats off to Missouri to come in and take this a close 2-0. It's not a dominant 2-0, but nonetheless it is a 2-0.
Yeah, an overtime game is always shows both teams came to fight, but it looks like the Tigers just had the Seawolves number this time.
Absolutely, and that's all she's going to write for this broadcast. Once again, I'm Kevin Broderick, joined by Niddle and Ravi and the rest of the crew over here at SBU Esports on Twitch. Again, thank you for watching, and unfortunately, the Seawolves winning streak will end 2-0 to Missouri, but we'll be back. Not next week, as actually the Seawolves have a break next week, but the week after that, and the Seawolves will look to bounce back then. So, see you in 2 weeks.